What it is, episode 56 of the Graham Avenue podcast, Morristown's unofficial podcast. Pompano here in the dungeon with my left-hand man, Cage's Nishan. Cage. What's going on?
What the heck is going on, man? Episode 56, and we got a special group of people.
Last week we had the least alternative, maybe a little bit douchey summer 2014 squad. This week we have three of the most alternative people in Terrace.
And most well-respected. Like, we go from some of the least respected people that you could find to some of the most well-respected people I can think of. So
You will never find Farmer Cam 6 Bud Lights deep in a Vegas pool party.
there's no way. Let's
No,
go around
sir.
the horn and we will introduce each person individually. Cameron Bell from Farmer Cam Foods. It's so weird to say your name that way.
I know.
Tell the people a little bit about you, Cam.
I am Cameron Bell, and I run Farmer Cam's Foods. Moved to Terrace about 3 years ago, mostly for the skiing, but the farming's pretty good too. And great music scene around here. So, yeah, as we were saying just before the recording started, I mostly spend my time farming at this time of year.
This guy can do some work on a trumpet too.
Oh, yeah.
So anyone that hasn't heard his band Rutabaga Dirtbags, check it out.
Also, the dearly departed.
And the Dearly Departed, sorry.
Yeah,
But
no,
just-
still good.
If you have to pick one, though, pick Rutabaga Dirtbags. Tough word. Next, we have Margo Peill, who runs a cult north of Terrace, where
she
no
doesn't.
one really knows what goes on there. Margo also, in her spare time, when she's not making sacrifices to an entity, she runs the Terrace Farmers Market. She is the FMM, Farmer Market Manager.
Whoa.
What a title.
That was a title that Scott actually appointed just last week. So
Oh, okay.
still getting used to the new title.
And how are you doing, Margo?
I'm doing great. I do just want to quickly clarify right off the top that no cults are being run out here. Everyone is here on their own free will.
Good.
They are, I think people who come here enjoy being here. We're just, growing some food and just enjoying being outdoors is really all that's happening.
Okay,
Same
thank
way
you for
Scientology
clarifying.
started, but
And flowers, food and flowers, right?
And flowers, thanks, Cam. Cam's going to be my business mentor
Oh,
here.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Cut flowers. Yeah,
Very nice.
that's right.
And next we have, she doesn't really need any introduction. I'm absolutely buzzing off of her coffee right now. We let it steep in the
in the
French press for way too long. So this is going to be interesting. We have Aleksa. Hopefully I'm saying your last name right. Havelaar. Is that correct?
Great.
Aleksa, tell the people a little about yourself.
Oh, I am the co-owner of White Coat Coffee. I moved to Terrace just 4 years ago now, and I moved up here to escape the city. In my spare time, which I'm not quite sure when that is, but I also volunteer for the Terrace Off-Road Cycling Association.
Yes, guy.
Basically in my spare time, I play in the dirt. A lot like Margo, but I actually want to hear more about her cults. I'm really curious.
No, I know.
We're going to get to that later. Don't worry.
Way more
Oh, boy.
interesting than what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Well, let's start it off the way we always like to do, with some negativity. Let's get into some anti-shoutouts off the hop. I thought he was a visionary when I first heard of him. Elon Musk is actually an insane person.
He's completely insane. Do you guys know about Elon Musk and what he's been doing on Twitter?
Yeah, what's up with those tweets? He's just destroying his stocks right now, isn't he?
He's going nuts. I thought this guy was the coolest guy ever. He actually went to Queen's University for a little bit,
Yeah.
which is quite interesting. But he is completely insane. I feel bad for his, a little bit of keeping up with the Cage Nations. I don't know if he's married, but he's having a kid with this really scary looking girl named Grimes. A lot of the
It's
kids
happening,
like
eh?
her. Yeah, so I feel bad for her, but he said he's selling his house and he's going to have no possessions, which that's a bold move, especially in a pandemic. Where are you going to live,
Yeah.
Elon? So
I thought Elon Musk was I thought he was going to become like a Hank Scorpio type, where I really look up to Hank Scorpio. But Elon Musk is just a weird guy, and whenever he says he's doing something, he will not do it.
it's complete bullshit, and I'm actually kind of mad about it. What do you think, Margo? What are your thoughts on Elon Musk? Do you have any thoughts?
No, not really. To be honest, I haven't read the news in a while, so can't really comment.
That's true. Okay, fair enough. I'm just going to call on you guys and I'm going to ask you about a bunch of things that you were not prepared to talk about. So next up, one thing that I do without hockey is I watch conservative, like really conservative people on YouTube just to get rattled, just to get kind of pissed off and sad about the world. So I'm going to give a little anti shout out to this guy named Ben Shapiro. Have you guys heard of Ben Shapiro?
Absolute knob.
This guy, yeah, he's such a critter. He at one point said that rap wasn't music because it didn't fall into this category, and his dad went to music school, so he has a right to say that rap isn't music. Guy rattles me, but I'm kind of my own victim because I always like purposely watch things to make myself angry.
It's
a
Fox
weird-
News and the right wing media is now the same thing for Kyle. It filled the void that the Maple Leafs left behind, where Kyle actually can't let himself be happy, and if he's having too good of a day, he literally puts on Fox News and then just screams at the TV.
Yeah. Do you guys watch anything that like? Do you guys ever do that? Like, do you guys watch the news or?
It's just clips of Donald Trump, to be honest. It just infuriates me.
Is it like with you guys, do you find like since you have so many activities that you can do outside, are you guys not in front of like a device like I am like 95% of my time?
I try to avoid it when I can, for sure. I like to fill my life with, positivity and happy things, so I don't
Yeah.
watch Fox News.
Well, don't worry. This is all we're going to do for negativity. Everything else is
Yeah.
super positive. And Pimpy, let's do some shout outs. Tell them what we're going to shout out first.
First of all, we have to shout out parchment paper. Parchment paper might be the greatest thing in the world. For one, as soon as it comes out of the oven, it's no longer hot.
I don't understand it.
My pizza strategy, I got to put the pizza on the stone, so I put it on parchment, and I rip the parchment out bare hand a few minutes in but it's not hot. It's in a 500-degree oven, and it's not hot. The only downside is if you don't have enough weight and your parchment kind of like swoops up and then gets lit on fire, and then there's just a whole circle,
Mhm.
and it creates a ring of fire around what you're trying to bake, and that was horrifying. But
So
now
it's
I know,
like the magic trick, like you're pulling a tablecloth kind of thing.
well, I was putting it in the oven, and like a breeze hit it, and the parchment, there wasn't enough to weigh all of it down, and it just swooped up to the top and lit on fire. It was horrifying.
What do you guys use when you cook? Like, do you guys use tin foil or I guess aluminum foil or should we be using parchment paper? Margo, what do you think?
Yeah, parchment's a big go-to in our house for sure. And that's one of the treats of it for sure, is that you can take it out of the oven with bare hands.
It's insane.
That's a big move. We also have these like reusable silicone mats that we use all the time for
No
baking.
way.
Yeah, so
course.
they're only good to 446 degrees though, so
Mm.
you can't do a pizza on them or anything. So that's where
Okay.
Why 446? Like,
no, that's just what it says on the thing. And I checked for safety because I didn't want to have the ring of fire situation going on.
yeah.
What do you use, Alexa? A lot of people want to know.
I don't really cook.
Mm,
Yeah, my husband does the cooking.
I love it.
Wow.
Love it, Alexa. Power to the people. I don't cook either.
If
Pimpy
it's
does my cooking.
It's like chips and salsa. That's
Love it. I love that. Well, there we go. We kind of answered a question that I was going to ask you later on, but maybe we'll have some others. What about you, Cam? What do you do, man? Do you cook?
I do cook. I like stir fries because they're super easy.
Yeah.
I also eat a lot of raw vegetables, such as this spinach I harvested this morning.
Oh, love it. Yes.
Great. It's great. Salads, smoothies, microgreens, everything.
What was that at Halloween?
The kale, wasn't it? Like a kale headdress?
Were you kale? Was that what you went
I did
for?
have kale. I was actually dressed up as a rutabaga. I had a rutabaga with me on a rope around my shoulder, and then I also had kale out the back of my shirt, a purple shirt and brown pants, and I was dressed up as a rutabaga. And by the end of the night, everybody had been eating the kale, like literally off of my back on the dance floor, people just leaning in and taking
and
a bite.
touching it. And
Oh,
now like with
yeah.
coronavirus and just about personal space, like that's giving me like, I'm getting like PTSD just thinking about all these like, and I was just mowing it at the end of the night because I was tuned up as Freddie Mercury and I just couldn't stop eating that kale.
You know, I think even if people were sober, they still would have been enjoying that kale. It was
Yeah.
high quality kale.
You would have been proud, Margo. I wish you were there to see that.
Yeah, that sounds so nice.
It was wonderful.
Yeah.
It was good.
We'll skip that one.
Let's go to Wheelhouse.
We'll go to Wheelhouse. You want to explain what we did, Pimpy?
I have, when anyone, like anytime, for any reason, anyone smuggles anything or just brings something to me from a place more than 5 kilometers away from where I am, I refer to them as like a smuggler or a coyote. So shout out to El Barto, the coyote of Prince Rupert. He went to Wheelhouse and did a safe drop of some all-inclusive pineapple coconut sours, fresh from the brewery.
It was unreal.
Best sour beer I've ever had.
Oh,
Out of like,
sure.
Like a good enough sour, but like not where it's like it still has that beer. Like you still know
Mhm.
you're drinking a beer. You know, some sours. Do you guys like sours or
Totally.
what is so like? Do you guys know how? I guess we are gonna have. I guess we'll just announce that we are gonna be having some brewers that we're gonna interview maybe next week. But do you guys know like how do you make a sour? Anyways, it's probably the wrong people to ask. But
incredible.
No, I brew beer.
Oh, of
Same.
course.
do
I
you guys
haven't-
actually brew beer?
Yeah, like I can literally show you my equipment on camera if you want. Yeah.
Classic.
I haven't made a sour before, but you use lactobacillus, right? You use the same bacteria that's in yogurt.
Yeah, it's a bacteria versus.
No way. And I love yogurt.
There you go, man. Just
Is it-
try like a yogurt beer float sometime. Just like throw some
Dude.
yogurt.
True story. We actually tried to make a sour using yogurt. I don't recommend it.
But did you use Activia? That's probably your answer.
Yeah.
I don't really remember what the type of yogurt was, but we just ended up making this like brown amorphous blob that
Nice.
just tasted like shit. It was so
Oh.
bad. Yeah,
Whoa.
Anyways.
Okay.
don't recommend it.
We also need to address here, Margo, how big is that jar? That looks like a full liter.
What jar?
We just saw you drink out of a jar.
Oh,
That's way
Whoa.
too. That's
it's
way
like
too.
a double. It's like a double jar. Someone
That's
gave
nice.
me this. You can, I guess, buy them at the grocery store, at Canadian Tire or something.
Awesome.
Those
Yeah,
are
it's a good
750s,
jar.
aren't they? I think they're 3/4 of a liter.
It's huge. Yeah, that makes sense. It's
That's
a really good one.
risky.
Love it, Margo.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh.
Hydrated.
A few pods ago, we've been really, really interested in studying people getting crippled the night before a work day. And so we asked some of our fans to send us in some stories. We discussed some of our stories. We have one that we're going to read from Brandon Stella, who graciously, he wrote a pretty decent little story here. So Pimpy, do you want to do the honors?
Yeah, I
And
just like to say,
we'll talk about it after Pimpy reads.
this is from Brandon Stella. His family is also starting a cult.
Mm.
Just listen to episode 54 and have a pretty solid hungover workday story. When I worked on KMP in Kitimat, I was living in an apartment above All Star Shoes, and we started going to Beasley's for karaoke every Friday night because it was so close to our place. Now, Fridays would normally be a solid day of the week to get after it, but I was working 3 days on, 1 off. Usually I would crush 1 or 2 Coronas and be responsible, but one fateful night I decided to floor it for no real reason. The next morning at 5 a.m., I get woken up by a call from my carpool buddy who is outside waiting for me. I make a mad panic scramble for the door. No food or lunch, just a bottle of water I hastily filled up at the sink on the way out. About 10 minutes into the drive, I decided I would slam the water in a weak attempt to sober up. I almost threw up. The water is soapy. It had been sitting in the dirty side of the sink, evidently with soap water still in it when I filled it up. I struggle for the rest of the drive to Kitimat, get to the parking lot of work, and throw up in front of our office. I managed to avoid confrontation at the morning safety meeting and spend the rest of the 10-hour workday in absolute turmoil with no food whatsoever.
Whoa. So my first question is for Cam. What's it like, because Thursday nights, and I know there's sometimes a lot Sherwood sessions, and I'm guessing there's been occasions where you've had a couple craft beers and then the next day you've had to farm. What is that experience like?
It can go two ways, I think. Either the weather's decent, it's nice to have some fresh air in the system, you get
Yeah.
your flow going, maybe you sweat out a little bit of alcohol,
Mhm.
things turn around, they go okay. Scenario two, you feel like a pile of garbage and just a little bit of electric lettuce, as Kyle says, can help you get over the hump, and you pull through. But
Love it.
some days are rough. Some days are rough.
Based on the way you look, I'm stunned that you would even think about dabbling in the electric
Yeah.
lettuce, Cam.
Shocker. Shocker, I know.
Margo, you obviously have never done anything wrong in your life, but if say, hypothetically you were to have a couple ciders on Friday night before a big, maybe like the biggest farmers market, my brain almost decayed there. The biggest farmers market of the year, how would you manage that? Would you do it? Tell us. Like,
No.
you would never?
Wow.
Oh, not for a farmer's market. No way. Those are like 6 a.m. starts, and like
Oh,
you gotta be like pretty on, and like pretty on for talking to people and like managing anything that comes up, dealing with anything, any of people's concerns. So I would be just, and it gets really hot, sunny. Ooh, I don't really deal with, day after very well. I'm more of like a shutter down kind of person.
yeah.
It's like an all or nothing. So I just can't even do it.
That's a great answer.
I like Cam's more. Alexa, what do you got?
Roasting beans hungover
Oh,
seems like it would be hell. But
Be hot and smelly, and
It is hell, and it's also the machine is really really loud. So
yeah.
you're feeling pretty crappy. You've got a pounding headache. That roastery is not where you want to be. It also gets really hot in there, similar to the farmers market scenario. So it can get up to 30 plus degrees inside the roastery in the summertime. So yeah, you want to keep it clean for sure.
yeah, like it's such a rookie mistake. Like the amount of time I haven't done it a lot. I actually can proudly say, Grandma, I don't do it. But yeah, like the times that I have done it, like I need like a fan like this close to my face, and just like I couldn't imagine doing what you guys do hungover. It'd be hell. Let's move on, Pimpy, to more important things. That was important. Don't get me wrong.
Nothing's ever been more important.
Might be the most important part of this whole interview here. But Pimpy, how about we ask Margo a really important question?
People want to know what is going on with the farmer's mask this year.
I'm assuming that means the farmer's market.
Yes,
does,
sir.
yes.
Great. Okay. The farmer's market is going online on Wednesday. It's
Let's
really
go.
exciting. Yeah, we're going to launch the online market on Wednesday. So people are going to be able to go on there. It'll direct them to the farmer's market page, and then they'll be able to see any vendors that are participating and all the items that they have for sale. And then they can sort of put things in their shopping cart and then arrange with the vendors to do pick up and drop off. So that's what we're going to do for the month of May. And then we'll see sort of how the rest of the summer plays out and kind of go from there.
For sure. That's awesome. And so on the website, I haven't looked. Well, can you go on it yet, or is it Wednesday?
No.
You can
Yeah,
go.
it'll go live on Wednesday.
So people will see, but just curious, you can shop all the vendors that have signed up for this. So you could have like Farmer Cam. Are you doing it for Cam?
I will. Yes, I already have my own online store, but I will be on the farmers market.
Okay. But yeah, so I could go in and I could have this item from this person, this item from this person, and then you'd arrange the driving with them or whatever. Or I said that horribly.
That was.
Do you want me to? I'll just reiterate what's going to happen. So all of the vendors are going to be under it's okay, under the farmer's market page.
Okay.
And what'll happen is you'll go into a vendor's little store or shop, and then you can put whatever you want from their shop into your cart. And then it'll have options that you're going to deal with directly with the vendor to figure out how to get it. So they'll have like set delivery options and set pickup options.
Perfect.
So since we're not doing a farmer's market, like a physical farmer's market, there's not like a direct pickup location. So each vendor has the opportunity to set their own delivery and pickup mode for their own little shop.
Yes, that makes sense. That makes way more sense. My apologies to all our listeners. That was my brain just sometimes, guys, like it just shuts right off. I'm at
this
the worst
is good practice
possible
for us, though. Like we're going to be answering these questions with customers over and over again.
Yeah.
Right? So we need to know how to pitch it.
And there might be like really like simple customers like me that have no idea what's going on.
You got to hit the
Wow.
lowest common denominator, right?
Mhm.
You got to make it easy for
Yes.
people.
And Aleksa, can you explain what you guys are doing? Actually, both you and Cam can explain what you guys are doing with White Goat and Farmer Camp's Foods.
Yeah, so with White Goat, given the situation with the pandemic, we switched to doing a lot of direct sales. We were selling through retailers, we were selling to accommodations providers and lodges, and lots of businesses who obviously been pretty significantly impacted by the pandemic. And so we sort of switched into just devoting a lot of time and energy into our online store and just doing a lot of direct sales. And in doing that, we've actually we've like basically given a whole bunch of people an idea that there's a coffee roaster in Terrace. Like I guess
Yeah.
after we've been doing this for 3 years, which isn't very long, but you get into a bit of an echo chamber, and it's just like all of my friends know about White Goat, and then some of their friends know about White Goat, but then like in the last month where I've been doing drop-offs for people, it's just like the number of them that are just like, oh, I just heard about you, why haven't I seen you before? Mostly because we haven't been at the farmers market. That's always been a little bit of an issue, just having that like direct contact with customers. So it's something that we'd like to start doing at some point when we're allowed to be in public again. But yeah, so we really just kind of focused with online sales. And then when we started thinking about how we can make things a little bit more convenient for people, we thought about partnering with other businesses. And so it was partially selfish because I really love Cam's microgreens, and I was
We
really
all love Cam's microgreens.
I know. Everybody loves Cam's greens. But we were getting them at the winter market, and then when the winter market ended, I just kind of lost touch. When you eat them like that, it's
Yeah.
Good for you.
Totally the same.
Yeah. Anyway, so I reached out to Cam, just seeing if he would be interested in partnering and kind of listing his stuff on our website, just to make it really easy for people to get some of their groceries all at once instead of having to go to the supermarket and then go to the deli and then go to like wherever else they'd have to go and shop. We were just trying to make it really sort of like a one-stop. I haven't really had time to seek out other partners. Things have just been a little bit busy with all of the different hats that I wear. But yeah, with Cam, it's been really great. We've been getting a lot of interest in the microgreens, lots of repeat customers, and yeah, hopefully not overloading him too much.
It's good. No, it's good. Any business is good business.
That's awesome.
I think we're ready to get into the heat of it.
Okay. Yeah, this is a big moment.
This is massive. Last week, there was lots of controversy over top 5 fruits. A lot of hot takes. A lot of people felt like they were cheated out of fruits that deserve more recognition. So we're back this week with vegetables.
Yep.
I hope everybody has their top 5 prepared. I know I won't understand most of what Cam and Margo say.
But one thing too we have to explain to our listeners is we're not talking like vegetables that we're just gonna like crack open and just start eating. Like it can be a top 5 vegetable because it pairs well with certain things, or you use it in lots of dishes that you like, or whatever, right? So
I took a lot of heat for putting the limes in, but if you want to eat fish tacos without limes,
I still think it's a hot take, but yeah. So
this is overall top 5. We're not talking like flavor or anything specifically. It's like totally open ended.
It's top 5, whatever you like. You could like it because you like beating people over the head with cucumbers. Would be weird, but it would be valid. So what we'll do, this Farmer Cam actually makes a living with vegetables. So we will let you start, Farmer Cam, your top 5 vegetables.
All right. Thank you for the honor. I do grow almost 30 varieties of vegetables, so I want all my vegetables to know.
Humble brag.
But I love some vegetables more than others. Okay, we're going to go number 5, kale. Staple. Just can't beat it. It's nutritious. Its popularity has fluctuated, but its resiliency in this climate is mind-blowing. I've got 2 beds of kale, like over 200 kale plants that just pulled through the winter, and they are now shooting up some nice little flowers. So it's quite the plant. We're going to go number 4, onions.
Love it.
Staple
Yeah.
of the kitchen, backbone of the kitchen. I'm going to include the reds and the yellows here as one category, the bulb onions. Nothing quite as satisfying as growing a good onion, actually getting it to shape up there.
Love it, Cam. And a ballsy pick too at 4.
You know, I'm pretty utilitarian so far. I'm
Don't know what
keeping
that
it
means,
big
but
word.
love it.
Too many syllables.
Oh, geez. I have a list of maybes here. It's really hard. We're going to say number 3, winter squash. I've been getting big into squash lately,
Okay.
actually.
All
I
right.
am growing them this year. Very excited. So
What's a winter squash?
like butternut, acorn,
Mhm.
kabocha, all of the deep orange squashes that you can roast. You make soups. They're really good. So related to pumpkins, you know.
Yeah.
A summer
Savvy.
squash is a zucchini.
Savvy pick, Cam.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so I'm down to my top 2 here. I'm going to say number 2 is going to be tatsoi. We're going to go a little alternative here.
This is alternative.
Yeah, it's like a cross between a bok choy and a spinach. Sometimes it's called Japanese spinach.
How is it more alternative than bok choy? How does it go like further off the track? Like I thought bok choy was like the most cultured thing out there, but
No, bok choy, this guy right here. Bok choy is like a pretty standard vegetable. It's pretty straightforward. But tatsoi, it's darker green. It's better raw. Bok choy is great for stir fries, but tatsoi, great raw vegetable. And the number 1, Hakurei turnip. The Hakurei turnip is a small white root crop. It is very crunchy. It has a slight spice, similar to radish, but
Nice.
way easier to eat raw. The greens are also edible. You can eat the entire thing. You can make chips out of the greens. Pimpy is dying of laughter right now. It's a really amazing vegetable. I'm growing a bunch of them. As far as I know, I'm the first person in Terrace to grow them and sell them, and I got a few people hooked on them last summer. I now have customers asking me in March, hey, do you have any of those salad turnips, any of those special white turnips? I'm like, hold your horses, just getting there.
everything's just like raw as hell. Cam's like, yeah, you can just, I don't know. I would just like cook most of the things that you're talking about, but I respect the hustle.
Squash I would cook for sure, but everything else, I'm a big raw vegetable kind of guy. I like grazing.
Yeah.
Honestly, one of the worst things about the pandemic is that I wear a mask when I harvest, and so I can't constantly eat while I'm harvesting vegetables anymore. But I do enjoy snacking on raw veggies.
So farming isn't like the game. Like you can get high off your own supply when you farm.
You can,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
You eat it all.
I just thought the game was the game, but that's fine.
I love that. You know what? Spirited.
A lot of passion.
A lot of passion. Like not afraid to make bold choices. For your first top 5, Cam, as the champion of top 5s, well done, sir. I'm gonna predict you're gonna get absolutely crushed on Instagram because no one has any clue what you talked about there. But I love the passion, and who knows more.
I did it for me. Yeah. I didn't do it for the gram. I did it for me.
Cody, Jay, and the boys, you lost them at Kale.
Yeah, once Kale came into the equation, I checked out. But love it, Margo. I guess since you're also very closely related to vegetables. You're actually, I heard,
Margo,
some family members are vegetables.
Very
no, not in that way. That sounded horrible. I meant more like sausage party on like where they're. Anyways,
Kyle, too far.
I'm burying myself.
Stop now.
I'm burying myself. We'll cut that. I'll cut that out, Margo.
You're not allowed to cut it.
No, it's fine.
She knows what I mean. Everyone always like spins everything I say.
I have no idea what you mean.
Like
what do you
they're
mean
actual.
when your family is vegetables?
No, like they actually like are like a talking cucumber is like your aunt or third cousin is like a talking cucumber. Anyways,
like VeggieTales.
Let's get me. Yeah, that's what I meant.
He went with a really obscene movie.
But
instead of a Christian vegetable storytelling.
Anyways, guys. Anyways, okay.
Okay, bringing it back. It's fine. Okay, not offended. It's totally cool.
Yeah, don't tell Matt. You go ahead with your top 5 vegetables.
Okay, top 5 vegetables. The first, three are actually pretty similar to Farmer Cam's. No, the first two. Okay,
Okay.
so number 5, winter squash, for all the
Love
reasons
it.
that Farmer Cam said. Stores really well, super tasty, roasted up, just a dream. Number 4, also kale. For all
Love it.
the reasons Farmer Cam said, super amazing, grows like a weed, just a dream.
Can I ask a kale question?
Yeah.
Big time.
So I find kale like really rigid and like kind of a awful experience when I eat it. Should I be soaking it in something, or like should I leave the I can't tell if Margot's frozen or if she
Uh-oh.
Okay,
All of us can hear each other.
Yeah.
okay, she's back. I honestly when you were frozen there, I'm like, she's so like pissed off at what I'm saying. It's really just like stunned. Anyways.
Can you ask the question again? You froze. None of us could hear you.
Oh no. Okay. It says my internet connection is unstable. That's terrifying when we're doing a live pod, but
I think what Kyle wants to say is that he's not rugged enough for kale. And
it's
he's-
really rigid. Like,
Rugged enough for the rigidity of kale.
is there anything I can do to soften the kale?
Yes.
Sorry. What do I
Yes.
do?
You can just steam it for a couple moments, or sometimes if you're roasting vegetables or something else, you can just chop up the kale and then just throw it on your sheet pan on some parchment paper
Love it.
for like the last 5 minutes of baking, and then until it turns bright green, and then it'll lose some of the rigidity.
Oh, unreal. Okay. Go ahead. Sorry. I cut you off there.
Oh yeah. Okay. So that was
Number
5,
3.
4 was kale. Number 3, I'm going to dive into the legume category. If I need to be more specific than that, I'm going to go broad beans / maybe chickpeas.
Love
Is that
it.
allowed?
I think we can.
I'm
allow
doing a
that.
tag team for number
Okay.
3. I just couldn't pick.
That's fair.
The
Yeah.
legume category is too broad.
Wait, you're talking about edible beans, raw or cooked beans?
Cooked beans.
Okay. You can eat favas raw,
What's
can't
raw?
you?
Probably. I don't know. I'm
You
not a
cook
big
raw.
I'm not a big raw vegetable fan. I definitely like a light steam or like a saute or something else. Yeah, cooking, roasting. Definitely more of a roast veggie fan. Which ties in really well with vegetable coming in at number 2, potatoes. Huge
Love it.
fan of potatoes.
Love that play.
Super versatile. I'm all about potatoes. Number 1 is going to be garlic. It's hard to dispute that one. I use it in almost everything that I make, so it's a big one.
I really like that. Pimpy will be very happy about that.
I'm happy about that.
Thank you, Pimpy.
You're welcome.
Alexa, give it a whirl.
Like, I feel like I'm out of my league here with the 2 girls.
Hey, look at me. Look at me, Alexa.
Right.
Kyle's top 5 is all just the same thing. And number 1 through 5 is just potato.
I was actually going to ask if pickles counted because,
Yeah.
Yeah.
How could it not count?
yeah, sweet. So like pickled cucumber,
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. Pickled asparagus, pepperoncinis,
Mhm.
pickled
Love it.
carrots, and canned sunflower sprouts. Everything, yeah, not pickled.
That was your 5, or was that
No.
1?
No, that was my 5. That was like full on. I might have missed pickled beets. That's my other. Everything pickled.
Wow.
Yeah.
What an
Alexa's
ab-
not as passionate as Farmer Cam was nearly combusting. And Alexa just wanted to get rid of that real
Just wanted
quick.
to get over it. Farmer Cam's list is my worst nightmare.
I know.
Damn. Basically,
Everything he said, I hate.
That's funny.
4 pickled items on the list. I love it.
I like that.
Sauerkraut. Wait, sauerkraut.
Mm.
All right.
Love
Number
it.
That's good. That's a really good one.
Wow, that's just like a complete turn of events.
Pompano?
You're
All right. I'm really glad because I'm not going to lose again this week because luckily our listeners don't know what Cam or Margo said. Coming in at number 5, San Marzano tomatoes.
Ooh.
Why do I pick San Marzano tomatoes instead of just regular tomatoes? Well, first of all, they're grown in Italy in volcanic ash. So they make me feel better than other people because they're imported. 2, they're way more expensive than other tomatoes, so you know they're good. And
Mhm.
3, anytime you buy a can of San Marzano tomatoes, there's a dent in the can, meaning that it's been through some shit. It's been through hell and back for you to make it into a pizza sauce. So number 5, San Marzano tomatoes. Number 4, a russet potato. Russet potato is probably the most versatile potato on the planet. You can't bite into it raw, Cam, unless you have sexual urges.
I mean, you
Great
can.
way, If you have sexual urges, Cam, and you need to get rid of them, bite straight into a russet
That's
potato.
actually true. That I've tried it.
It's a tried and
Works.
proven thing. I have the information to back it up. I swear to God.
I do it on
Okay.
Sundays.
Russet potato. You can use it for anything. It's just a vessel for
Mhm.
whatever you want it to be. Number 3, doesn't improve your eyesight. Huge hoax, but damn are they delicious. Carrots.
Love it.
Great with dill. You can get them in chips, hard bite. Dill flavored carrots. They're great steamed. They're great raw. They're great roasted. They're great to beat people with as well if you're
Mhm.
into that. Number 3, carrots. Number 2, garlic. Garlic is in everything. If you never want to eat a vegetable, like a traditional vegetable in your entire life, you still will like garlic. You can put garlic on any piece of meat, like tofu, like anything you want. Garlic is an absolute wagon, and it works with everything. You get it in powder form if you're super lazy. You can get it jarred and pre-cut. It's just unbelievable and very versatile. Number 1, an orange yam, which is actually just a sweet potato. Yams are different if you want to get technical, but god damn do I love these things. Not as versatile as a russet potato. When you get fries, not as much integrity, like you can never use them for something like poutine, but damn, they got a tangy aftertaste that I just love, and I think I could eat yams every day.
Very nice. Interesting choice on the San Marzanos. I like that specificity.
Yeah.
Very
That's
And the
cool.
russet too. Good take on the russet.
Yeah, which I
Quality
don't like
choice.
that take, but
I think it's a quality choice.
so I'll finish this up quick. Number 5, jalapeno peppers. Big reason why is I really like jalapeno cheddar Doritos. Anything jalapeno with cheddar is usually pretty awesome. I don't necessarily eat them raw, but usually you got something with spice, it's good for me. So love it. Thanks, jalapeno peppers. Number 4, this is like, I'm gonna use a hockey. This is like Zach Hyman. Basically something you don't really notice that much, but all of a sudden when it's gone, you notice, and you're like, oh my god, I never noticed the impact that Zach Hyman had on the Leafs. For vegetables, that's spinach. If I try to put, like, if I have a pita and I put iceberg lettuce in there, it doesn't do the job. I used to hate spinach as a kid. Now I love it, and it's healthy for me.
I'm so sorry to interrupt. It just makes me so nervous when I see Cam like reaching over to his little
It's
tickled chunk of
terrifying.
veggies over there.
It's so scary, but it's so like perfect for what we're doing right now.
This is like the leftover bucket.
Oh
like,
my god! And
A Canadian
Like
Tire.
a 5-gallon bucket.
we put hockey pucks in
Oh
there.
wow.
2.5 gallon. But yeah,
Damn.
after harvest day, I just take all the like shrapnel leftovers, stuff that didn't fit in
Yeah.
the bag, throw it in a bucket, bring it home. It's good.
For people that aren't gonna watch this, Cam has a Canadian Tire bucket that looks like it's been from like 1987. Look at how weathered the bucket
Lord.
is. I don't know if it's the
It's
color.
only like it's like a year old, like 1 or 2
Yellow.
years. It's just the sunshine.
You should get
Damn.
a Yeti bucket. They're way better.
Yeah, throw you back $90, but it's worth it, man.
Oh yeah, honeycomb
I run a
lid.
business, man. These things are so cheap.
Fair enough. Number 3, frozen peas. They have to be bagged frozen. There's something about frozen peas that just get me going. In university, pretty much the only vegetable I would eat. You just chuck them in the microwave. You never use the instructions, and you just guess how much water to put in and how long to microwave them for. You get a different frozen pea every time. Number 2, I know this is a fruit, but tomatoes. All I really need to say with tomatoes is pizza, man. If without tomatoes, we wouldn't have pizza probably, or traditional pizza. We'd be using even barbecue sauce as ketchup. Let's go. Tomatoes are unbelievable. I really like Greek salads. I don't know. My grandma just found out about Greek salads a couple weeks ago, but tomatoes, unreal. I get cherry tomatoes and I slice them in half for double
work,
the
man.
tomato
You're
action.
a chef.
And number 1, I refuse to say russet. I'm just going to say potatoes. Not a big deal, but my grandma is actually from the potato capital of the world. Not a big deal. So if the Grays know anything, we don't know a lot, but we know potatoes. because my family is surrounded by fields of them. There's no civilization other than potatoes. My uncle tried to marry a potato once, but it didn't work out. So anyways, potatoes, number one, fries, chips, like mashed potatoes.
Run. Baked potato, poutine,
Yeah, it's unreal. Poutine, like, come on.
raw potatoes.
That was top 5 vegetables on the Graham Avenue podcast. I've talked a lot, Pimpy. You got to talk more.
Okay. So obviously none of you are from Terrace, but we want to but you all ended up here for one reason or another. So we want to get into some roundtable discussions. So first we want to get in some Terrace thoughts. We're going to go around the table, ask you what was the nicest surprise when you moved here, the worst surprise when you moved to Terrace, and what place in the world could you compare Terrace to? Let's start with Farmer Cam, who is from Ontario.
That's the one.
Boom, sick burn. What was the nicest
You're from,
surprise?
Are you from Barrie?
Barrie, Ontario.
Are you actually?
Yep.
Holy shit, I was completely guessing. Love
Oh,
it.
we talked about this when we had
Yeah.
the pizza party, remember?
Oh, yeah. And didn't you go to Keswick all the time and just like live it up there? Is that true or no?
No, you must be thinking of someone else. I think
Oh,
I've been
okay.
through Keswick, but Keswick's
Okay.
kind of an armpit. I don't know.
Yeah, fake news. Okay, go ahead, Cam.
I grew up outside of Keswick. And you're not wrong, it is an armpit. Sorry. Yeah.
So you want me to go through all 3 of those things or just one?
Yes, all 3.
Okay, on the spot. Nicest thing, it wasn't immediately when I moved to Terrace, but I originally lived in Shame's staff housing. They had rented a house for all of us ski bums. When we got kicked out of that house at the end of the ski season, I was able to house sit for someone and then ended up living in a camper trailer in their backyard for a little while. It was really cool. It was really chill. It was just a really nice surprise to be able to find an interesting alternative housing option, because everybody's always like, the rental market sucks. But that one actually worked out for me. Worst thing about moving to Terrace, or worst thing I found when I got here, is probably the lack of a downtown entertainment core.
Mhm.
There's some really nice spots, but they're not close together. So it's a little bit hard to like do the pub crawl or whatever. You're always like messing with
100%.
shuttle taxis and designated drivers and that kind of thing. And then in terms of a place that you could compare it to, let's say Parry Sound, Ontario.
Love it.
It's like borderline Northern Ontario, so it sort of has that same mentality as Terrace, where it's definitely not Southern BC, but there's still a lot farther north from that. Beautiful town, lots of fun things to do, and a bunch of tourists certain times a year.
Isn't Bobby Orr from Parry Sound? Pretty sure.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Great choice, Cam. That was, and you killed that, man.
Really tough act to follow. I wouldn't want to follow it.
Go to Aleksa.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you follow Cam? Most surprising thing about Terrace, obviously all of mine are going to be very like related to the outdoors.
Love it. That's perfect.
The most surprising thing was just the quality of the mountain bike trails here.
Mhm.
I've ridden lots of different places around BC, and Terrace is like, well, was at the time, like the best kept secret. So that was awesome, because I hadn't really been here before I moved here. So I was excited that
Awesome.
I get some riding in. Most disappointing thing was that there were no sour beers here at the time.
Yeah. Geez, you love sour beers.
I do love sour beers, and I was actually really bummed about that, like leaving the Lower Mainland where, every corner store
Had a sour beer.
We had like a bazillion breweries around us, and so there was a lot of options, and so that was super disappointing. And place that I would compare Terrace to would be
Don't say Keswick.
Definitely not Keswick. Squamish, definitely, just in terms of like, outdoor adventure. We're definitely Squamish of the North. So.
Very cool. That's actually makes me feel good.
Definitely.
My heart is full.
I was not expecting that nice of an answer.
That was wonderful.
Margo, you're up. I wouldn't want to follow both of those acts. They're really good.
Yeah.
You're from Nova Scotia, right?
That's right.
Love it.
Yeah, I moved here about 5, coming up to 6 years now.
Awesome.
To Terrace, yeah.
And we're happy to have you.
Hey, thanks. Glad to still be here. Okay, the nicest surprise when I moved here, I think, was I didn't really do much outdoor activities. Like didn't really ski, I didn't really rock climb, I didn't
Really?
do any of those things.
Makes sense, I
So
guess.
the best surprise, the best surprise was just how kind and willing everyone was to like teach you that. It was so nice. Like I've never been in an area before where people like there's usually like a little bit of competition or they don't want to share like their best spots with you or like whatever. So just
Smithers.
like for so many, well, I'm
Yeah,
sure there's lots
there.
of places. So just for the fact that everyone was so kind and like so willing to like hook me up with gear and sort of take me out and like have patience while I learned these things was just like so awesome. Like such a sweet surprise, not what I was expecting at all. So that was really cool.
Oh, we lost Alexa.
Lost Alexa.
That's okay.
She'll be back.
She'll call back. That was actually great, Margo. Really well done.
What was the
Okay.
worst thing though? What sucked about it?
The worst thing was starting to build a life here in Terrace and then finding out that the person you're building a life with is a ghost.
Oh. That is
must
horrible.
suck.
It was really tough. Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's still something that I'm working through, but
Yeah.
you know, one day
Yeah.
at a time. So still working on that.
Yeah. The wedding will be very interesting when no one can see the groom.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
he could take form like every once in
Just
a
a
while.
suit
but-
on the floor.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get creative with that one for sure.
Well,
But yeah.
And what?
should we just kill time while we wait for Alexa?
She
or-
had one more thing to answer.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
the comparison. I don't really know what to compare it to be honest. I've never really been to a place like Terrace, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I can't really think of anywhere in Nova Scotia that's super comparative. Maybe somewhere in rural Nova Scotia, but I think it's just kind of its own thing.
Definitely the weakest of the three answers, but
I know,
still
sorry.
pretty good.
Your first two were probably the best. So
Okay.
love it. Love it,
It'll
Margo.
balance out. It'll balance.
So we're back. Maybe we'll splice a little ad into there. Anyways,
Definitely talk about
what
it.
I really want to know is like, I think I stereotype you guys like way too much in it, not in a bad way, but I always act like you guys are like super alternative. You don't do anything mainstream in any way. But I want to know, what thing do you guys do that's considered like mainstream? So it could be liking a certain food that like the masses like. It could be like watching The Voice on Tuesday nights. I don't know, like just certain things that regular, everyday, generic people do. So we'll start with Alexa.
I eat a lot of Miss Vicky's.
Love it. Eating chips is pretty mainstream. Like at least it's not like you're eating carrot beet chips or something like Pimpy would eat.
They're pretty good.
Well, how about you, Margo?
Mainstream. Well, now since the pandemic, I make and eat. Well, I guess it's become mainstream in the pandemic, but I make and eat a lot of sourdough.
That's a weak answer.
No, it's not.
Scott thinks he's being alternative for doing
Yeah.
it, but turns out it's not.
No, everyone does it now. And it's
Suck it,
great.
Scott.
People are baking their own bread. It's amazing.
It is cool.
She definitely watches The Voice on Tuesdays. Just doesn't want to admit it. Farmer
I
Cam.
don't have a TV.
I think sourdough is alternative. I don't think sourdough is mainstream.
I'll come up with another one while you're talking.
Nice. Okay, I'll say two. Big fan of ramen noodles. Definitely.
Yes, guy.
I don't like Mr. Noodles, but still the other brands of ramen solid.
Yeah,
I always like throw extra vegetables and an egg or something like that into it. But
love
yeah,
it.
love the packaged noodles, super quick. Also, kokanee beer. I drink a lot of Sherwood, but like if I just need a case of beer, just
Oh,
for
hell yeah.
I will drink kokanee.
I love that.
Love that, Cam. How about, do you have one, Margo?
No, I didn't come up with anything else. I'm sure there's other things, but now I'm on the spot and I'm already nervous.
It's all
so
good. My
I'm sorry,
stereotype
I
of
shouldn't-
Margo
I
is
shouldn't have
perfect.
called you out.
No, you were right to do that.
I
Margo's
It's okay,
fine.
Margo. One day,
Matt and I talked about it and we decided it was mainstream enough that I could get away with it, but
No.
maybe one day, Margo, just like kind of like give you a new perspective. Like we could just, and Matt can come too. I can just take you around and be like, okay, this is Taco Bell. We'll get like Crunchwrap Supremes. We might hit up like Tillicum and watch a Marvel movie. And then we might end the night watching like 90 Day Fiance or something with Pimpy. It'd actually be a great day.
Guilty pleasure.
Yeah. So anyways,
Okay.
we'll have craft dinner and then go to
Oh my
bed.
God.
Yeah, no Annie's, only craft dinner.
So
Okay. I'll
ask Matt.
Yeah, Matt, I'm not sure what he'll say to that. He might not leave the property, but we can try.
All right, next question. This is another 3-parter. What is your 1 go-to cup of coffee, the coffee that you would make every day? 2, your favorite special kind of coffee. This is if you got extra time or you're going out to get a fancy glass, say at Bert's Deli. And 3, the grittiest cup of coffee that you've ever had.
We have to start obviously again, we're with Aleksa because she's the coffee guru. So go ahead,
Of course.
Aleksa.
My go-to every day is French press, and of course the type of coffee changes, but we've
Love
got
it.
like a giant Bodum, because for me it's like I need the maximum amount of coffee in the least amount of time. So it's French press, and then of course like usually an espresso at lunch. So that's my my favorite specialty. It's just, again, full on, nothing added, just espresso shots.
Love it.
And the the grittiest cup of coffee, we talked about this the last time I was on, but it was we were living on Cortez Island. Our power had gone out every day for 7 days straight, and by day 7 we were like smashing coffee beans in a bag with a hammer just so we could get some coffee in us. And I think that there were plastic bits in the coffee as we were drinking it. That's by far the grittiest cup of coffee I've ever had in my life.
Love it.
That's about as gritty as you can get.
Let's go Farmer Cam next.
Okay. Go-to coffee these days, White Goat Glade Runner.
Love it.
Roast. Yeah. Been drinking a bunch of that these days. French press as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I cracked my French press just the other day. Tragic moment. But it was a very small chip, so I've still been using it. I'm playing with fire, but it still works. Still works. Special coffee, Carolans, I think. If I have a bottle of Carolans kicking around, nice shot of that's a good way to go. I've also been, speaking of mainstream, buying chocolate milk lately. Love chocolate milk.
Nice.
Little splash of chocolate milk in your coffee. Real easy. Great.
So, I've never heard about that. Alexa's probably like gonna faint hearing that. We'll cut that. Don't worry.
I don't know if it's better to use chocolate milk or use powdered chocolate milk mix, or if I'm just doing it wrong entirely.
That's so fun.
I think you're a psychopath, Cam. But we're learning a lot about Cam here.
That's
I've learned
I respect
things
that
every
hell
second.
out of
And gritty cup of coffee. I can't think of a specific moment, but there.
I thought the chocolate milk was the gritty coffee.
Oh, is it? It could be. Maybe it is a grit move, but I'm also gonna say sometimes when you're camping, you forget your coffee making technology. You just boil the beans in a pot, and you just have to pour off the top really carefully.
Yeah.
You're eating some grounds. You're definitely eating some grounds.
Cowboy coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Margo, you're up.
Okay, go-to cup is dark roast, AeroPress, black,
Love
nothing in it.
Love it.
Dream way to start the day.
Veteran
Thank
method.
you. Snazzy coffee would probably be a Vietnamese coffee.
Whoa, okay.
Good.
I don't really make at home, but if there's an opportunity to have those, that's a real treat.
There's people from New Brunswick listening, so can you explain what Vietnamese coffee is?
Yeah, well, I can try. Aleksa can help me. To be honest, this is going to sound so pretentious. I've only ever actually really had it when I was in Vietnam.
Oh, of course.
I know. But they really know how to make them well there. My understanding is that it's sweetened condensed milk, and then you add a shot of espresso to it. Is that right, Aleksa?
Yeah.
You can get them at Bert's.
Oh my gosh, game
Advice
changer.
as well. Yeah.
Very cool.
It's not Vietnam, but still.
That's going to be a treat.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And then your grittiest cup that you've ever had.
Grittiest cup was very distinctive, actually. We were working on a farm down in the States for a while.
Of course, as we all do.
And as you do. And we had this, the farm that we were working on had this red Dodge minivan. This is way too much backstory, but we called it Red Truck because they would transport like goats and hay and like a whole bunch of stuff in it, but it was just like a red minivan. So it got super sacked out. So anyway, one day we had to take it to the tire shop or like a mechanics. And it was in this like small town like tire shop. And they had this like pot of coffee in the waiting room that was there like probably, I don't know, days maybe.
Mhm.
And it was like complimentary. And I was just like, oh, wow, that sounds so nice. And it was probably pretty much as good as you think it would have been. It was like,
Just melted tires.
oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. So that was probably the grittiest cup.
That is very gritty.
I actually want to give my answer on here mostly for attention, but also because I think I have a pretty good one. Go-to, we do a French press. Specialty is also Vietnamese coffee. If you're actually in Nam, you go hot. If you're in Terrace, you go iced. That's
Good tip. Hot tip. Thanks.
Classic rule. Obviously, I've been to Vietnam because I'm a man of culture. The grittiest cup of coffee is a Thai. Once was in Ecuador, also a travel flex. It was like lukewarm milk. And they're like, here's your coffee. And I was like, this isn't coffee, it's milk. And he just pointed and they had like instant coffee. But the milk wasn't even like hot enough to really dissolve it properly. Also, in my younger years, I was working night shifts at Alcan in the summer and I had to go to Prince George. I worked a night shift, got off at 6, drove to Terrace, drove to Prince George to look at rentals with barely any sleep. And we went to the Croft. I'm not sure if Cam knows the Croft.
This is an interesting
Classy.
spot.
The grittiest bar probably in existence ever.
That's where coronavirus started.
Yeah. And
That's the one close to the rail yards in the light industrial area, right?
Yeah.
Grit Central.
That was the first place I ever had a beer in Prince George with my brother. And,
Same.
And yeah, so a bunch of homophobic locals thought that we were a gay couple. It was weird.
Wow.
Yeah,
there's
a lot of people get in there and a lot of people don't leave. You
Yeah.
never see them again.
But we were getting ready to go to the generator and it's about 11:30 and I'm about to pass out in my seat. So I saw a pot of coffee, very similar to Margo's story. Don't know how long it had been there, maybe years, maybe days, maybe hours, but I had a cup of black coffee in the Croft.
Love it.
And that was probably the grittiest one. And I saw some things that I'll never recover from.
Which we've all seen some things at the Croft. Should I go or?
Yeah, if you got it.
Okay. I guess my go-to is just French press coffee now. I'm not a big, I just drink coffee. I don't really care. Specialty coffee, I have a espresso and beer, not mixed. I just drink a beer and have an espresso. I guess that'd be specialty.
Oh yeah.
A bit weird. And the grittiest cup of coffee I've ever had, probably, I like to leave coffee cups with half drink coffee in my car. So I had a ice cold black dark roast Tim Hortons coffee, just downed it. It was like drinking Satan. Anyways, okay. That was
I can be on the show anymore.
yeah, sorry Aleksa. Hey, there probably was little plastic bits in it as well, but anyways. Next question. Big question. This is the debate round. What is more rad, biking or climbing? Does anyone want to go first with their take?
Ladies?
I mean, there's no debate. Biking's obviously better. You can be afraid of heights and still ride your bike. You can't do that climbing.
Fair enough. Margo?
Am I supposed to take the climbing?
Nope,
the
you can
climbing
if
Oh.
you want, you can be like biking's cooler.
Yeah, well, I've never really been into mountain biking because, to be honest, I'm a little bit afraid of it. So, yeah, I feel more fearful about mountain biking than I do about rock climbing.
So it's probably more rad.
Probably mountain biking. I probably get chewed out for saying that. I shouldn't really say that where other people.
We'll
can
cut
hear
it.
me.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna chop up this whole interview. The vegetable thing, I'm for sure chopping. Just kidding. No, I'm keeping
Drop
that.
it entirely.
I'm keeping that. What do you think, Cam?
Neutral.
Biking. I'm going to take the 2 wheels as well. There's more speed. I think that there's more adrenaline. Climbing's great. I've only done it a little bit, but I feel like you can get way more sendy on a mountain bike than you can in a harness.
Sendy. Great
Love
word.
it.
Haven't heard that one in a while.
Sound like a pro.
Yeah. And just last, but certainly not least, have any of you, Cam looks like he's been through the ringer, but has anyone given or received a quarantine haircut?
This was not my roommate, tell you that much.
All right.
I haven't had a haircut in like 3 or 4 years, so
No way, Aleksa.
the whole quarantine thing is really not impacting my life too greatly.
Fair enough. How about you, Margo?
Yeah, I also don't get my hair cut very often, and I usually do cut Matt's hair, but that's like once every like 5 to 7 years. So
Oh.
he's not due for one in for a while.
Yeah, I want to see his hair
time.
now.
Yeah.
What a beauty. Yeah,
You
Pimpy
don't.
actually cut my hair at the back. He did a good job.
I
Good
used a
teamwork, boys.
Yeah, that looks
Phillips
really good.
one blade.
He used a Phillips
Wow.
one blade. It was like, yeah, it was painful.
Took forever.
Not designed. It's for my face, so it's not designed for cutting hair, but he did a great job. So, okay, we got questions from the audience, and
Yeah, we have vet move.
oh, geez, I'm way off.
Yeah, we have vet move rookie mistake brought to you by Edward Theodore Gray. Right after we get to Pippi's fun fact, brought to you by Laura Theodore Gray. Have any of you noticed a difference in the taste of your sriracha hot sauce? They had a $1 million dispute with their supplier a few years back, which led to the end of a beautiful, beautiful relationship. And now sriracha uses a different supplier of peppers, and it tastes slightly different. And the OG supplier of sriracha peppers started their own sriracha now, and they've had to market. They fucking hate each other. Sorry,
Love
Grandma.
it.
So
That's
if
too
anyone
bad.
has wondered why it tastes different, that's why.
That was a great fun fact, Pimpy.
Thank you. Quick and concise.
They were all really engaged with it.
Mm-hmm.
I like sriracha. It's good sauce.
Let's go into one of the most popular segments. This is going to be a great time. Veteran move rookie mistake. I will start with the first one from our friend from America, Montana Tom. He asked, leaving your second avocado half on the counter until ready to use, then scraping away the brown icky layer on the top. So this is not putting any plastic wrap on it, not putting it in the fridge, and just letting it sit out. I think I'm just going to go first. I think it's a huge rookie mistake. Like, avocados are everything's so like touchy with them. Like, you got to treat them with respect, and that's not putting respect on avocado's name.
No.
Rookie mistake for me.
Farmer Cam, what do you think?
Also a rookie mistake. It only takes a few seconds to throw that in a Ziploc bag, which of course you washed and reused yourself. So really not that difficult.
Love it. Margo, what do you think?
Yeah, same. Montana Tom, there's really no reason you need to be doing that. You can actually just like cut it in half and then use the other half that you've already scooped out. If you leave the core in, apparently it helps with the browning. And then just put the other half back on top, put it in the fridge, and it's
Love
good
it.
to go.
Yeah. This guy is from Montana, for real. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of things he doesn't know.
Aleksa, what do you think?
Yeah, I have to agree. That's a rookie mistake. You just eat the whole damn avocado. Like, why leave any behind?
Exactly. Garbage question, Montana Tom.
Tom, I really want to stick up for you here, but it's definitely a rookie mistake. You spritz it with a little bit of lime, grapefruit, to stop it from browning. Cover it in some way, put it in the fridge. I know you want to get back to your Traeger grill and day drinking on quarantine, but it just takes a few seconds. And that little icky bit, you're losing avocado, and that's basically gold. So next question. This one's from Aleksa, so interested to see what you have to say. Short shorts and knee pads, but we're going to save your answers coming last. Margo, what do you think? Short shorts and knee pads.
I think that's a veteran move. That's obvious for comfort and safety. You're nailing both of those. I think it's a good way to go.
Cameron.
Rookie mistake because I've never worn a pair of short shorts that were comfortable.
Oh, shit. Oh, okay. I was thinking like bullshit.
But when it's hot, it's quite, you get a little more breeze that way.
I guess. Are we talking about biking or anything? Why are you wearing knee pads?
Yeah.
Okay. Because there was no context. You're just like knee pads. I mean, yeah, no, I'm gonna stick with it. Rookie mistake. I don't think short shorts are necessary.
Fair enough. I'll go. I'm going to say veteran move. I think knees are one of the most important body parts, and you got to protect them. And I love showing off a bit of leg. So veteran move.
Me personally, like, if we're going with me, it's definitely a rookie mistake. I don't have the hamstrings for short shorts. I used to be in swim club, and some of those photos haunt me. In general, though, absolutely a veteran move if you want to rock short shorts, especially as a man. It shows a lot of confidence, but knees are very important. And as someone who hurts their knee literally every day doing something stupid, you got to keep them protected. There's a lot of sharp edges around the house, so a veteran move.
All right, Aleksa, what's the true answer?
Well, I mean, the true answer for your mountain bike pros is that it's a rookie mistake, and you're
Oh.
actually called a gaper.
That's a really graphic name. Why is it
Yeah.
called gaper?
That's a great question. I think
Well, it's probably
you have like a certain look that you're supposed to be going for. So you have to have like the big baggy shorts, and there can't be any space between your shorts and your pads. I'm not an expert.
Really?
that's probably it though. It's the gap between your shorts and your knee pads. Because in skiing, if you have that gap between your
Yeah, you're a
goggles and your
pigeon.
helmet,
I couldn't
Yeah.
figure out how to get rid of that. What's the answer?
get
'Cause-
a better helmet, tilt it forward, to adjust the straps on the back of your helmet so that it actually
Brutal.
sits forward properly.
yeah, I'm not a big helmet guy because I just look so dumb with them, but they're really important. Arguably
They
one of
are.
the most important protective
Yeah.
pieces of equipment. Next question, veteran move, rookie mistake. I think this is a slam dunk. Was this you that had this
I'm
one?
just putting stuff in.
All right. Iced coffees,
So
veteran move.
Not cold brew, but when you just like make hot coffee and pour it over ice.
Dude, your voice is like
I know.
disintegrating right now.
It's gone.
Okay. I think it's a veteran move. I actually really like it when it's just literally the same coffee, just iced. Like I don't need extra vanilla flavor. I don't need anything. I don't mind drinking it cold. Like if I could drink Tim Hortons dark roast in like the middle of winter, I can drink pretty much anything. So I liked iced coffees, veteran move.
Farmer Cam.
Vet move. I think it's a good call. I think hot summer day, nice cold cup of coffee, good way to go.
Love it. Margo?
Yeah, I can get on board with the vet move on that one. I'm not a huge fan of iced coffee, but I can see how it's a nice take for the summer for sure.
Yes, guy.
Aleksa?
I like the idea of it, like cold cup, but it has to be brewed properly. So just like cooling down coffee
Mhm.
and putting it in a cup with some ice is not doing your coffee any justice.
Yeah.
So I have to call it a rookie move.
I'm a pigeon.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I agree with Aleksa because I've had sometimes where I order an iced coffee and I literally just get like a piping hot Americano and then they pour it over ice and all the ice melts. And then it's just like kind of hot, kind of cold coffee. Can't choose. So I say it's a rookie mistake. Get on the cold brew train. But I mean, there are really good iced coffees, but yeah, damn, some of them are horrible.
Yes, guy. Next one, I don't even know. Should we even ask this? It's
I wanna
obviously
know.
a veteran move.
Frozen peas.
Frozen peas. We all know it's a veteran move. Margo, what do you think?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever really thought too much about frozen peas before.
You got to start thinking
Oh.
about these types of things.
I do. Yeah, I guess I guess you could call it a veteran move. I mean, it's a source of vegetables, so that's really good.
Yeah.
And then you always have it in your freezer ready to go. So sure, we can go with that.
Okay.
move.
Cam.
It is a veteran move. It's a good idea to have a pack of frozen peas in your freezer. You can always use it as an ice pack on that ankle or knee that you injure.
Handy P.
However, bonus points if it is locally grown organic peas that you froze yourself.
Love it. Do you have frozen peas? Like, can I buy frozen peas from you?
No, I don't have food processing equipment or licensing, but yes,
enough.
theoretically, you can buy my peas in a little while. They're germinating now. They're coming up. So
Love it.
Oh yeah.
I'll have to try it. How about you, Aleksa? What do you think about frozen peas?
You guys know I only like pickled vegetables, so
So rookie mistake.
rookie mistake.
Fair enough.
Frozen peas, they just hit different. I don't know.
Pimpy, the last question. This is basically just all about you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Vet move or rookie mistake. Going to the farmer's market just to flex your new Patagonia and get cinnamon buns.
What do you guys think? We'll go with Margo because she's the farmer's market person. FMM.
Mhm.
FMM. Yeah. Oh, I think it's a big vet move. Anytime you're getting cinnamon buns is a huge vet move. Like no matter what you're wearing,
Totally.
that's really all that matters.
Love it. Aleksa, what do you think?
Definitely vet move. Absolutely. Just got to show off the Patagonia.
Love it.
Wow.
Cam?
Rookie mistake for not buying a single vegetable.
Love it.
I would say, and I mean, I'm not saying I've ever done this, but I definitely have many times. It's absolutely a rookie mistake. It just shows that you have to go to the farmer's market to wear Patagonia so you can be around other people wearing Patagonia. And you're not actually really contributing to the farmer's market. You're just getting cinnamon buns and then eating a bunch of them and feeling horrible.
It's like a
about
class
yourself.
thing. Like it's like I don't really even get it. I only have one piece of Patagonia. So
I don't know where all these people at the farmer's market wearing Patagonia are. I don't know where you guys see that many people
They're-
wearing Patagonia.
that's all there is.
Yeah.
You're one of them, Margo. You
What? Well,
Yeah.
I wear Patagonia, but I don't see that. Like if you look at the broader demographic of the farmers market, I would say a very minute.
you are fake news.
You're, yeah.
You are fake news.
Cam, what do you think? You're at the
What kind
farmers
of Patagonia
market all the time.
jackets you see? Oh my.
I mean, there's a big difference between the people that are walking up and down the farmers market and socializing and the people that are actually going off to the vendors and buying
Yeah.
things.
That is fair. That's
Yeah.
true.
There's some observation bias here with me as a vendor and Margo as the manager.
Mm.
Yes, guy. Okay, guys, we're on the home stretch. We've got a few more things to do. I just want to say thanks a lot for coming on. I'll say that again in like 15 minutes when we're done. But yeah, we really appreciate it. I think this will be good for some of our like listeners that don't know anything about like vegetables and just being alternative. Like this is going to really help. I've learned a lot actually. I'm just going to answer this one right off the bat. I'm not even going to bring it around the horn. Riley Kloss asked, why wasn't Dolores Umbridge in either top 5 villains in episode 54? I need answers. Please discuss. That is a horrible question because we're not nerds.
Yeah.
We're really cool and we have like comic book characters and TV villains. So
Yeah.
there's no way Dolores Umbridge was ever, and Voldemort is way more of a villain.
Voldemort has a pig nose though. Fuck
Anyways.
that guy. Anyway, but you have to pick. I had to pick one. I couldn't do both. Like I physically couldn't have that much like fantasy stuff. So I picked Lord of the Rings. It's way better.
Yes, guy.
I'm not a Harry Potter guy.
David Craig Arthur. I don't even know if we should say this. He just said, "Who are these Woods people?" I think he was saying that about Cam.
I've met David. Though. He does know
David.
who I am.
David lives on Mountain Vista on the bench, so he can't say anything right now. Yeah, he lives in an affluent white neighborhood. He has no opinion.
Yeah, but affluent white people is my target market for vegetables.
That is true. Actually, let's take that back. Yeah, we love David, and he really is a person that speaks highly of vegetables everywhere.
Totally.
Aaron-
Also, shout out to Riley Close. She buys my vegetables all the time.
Yes, guy. So we were rude to 2 people, and they're actually great customers.
Whatever. Next one comes from Erin Reimer. She says, ask Alexa what knee pads she recommends for mountain biking.
Oh man, Aaron knows I don't wear knee pads, so I don't recommend them. You've got kneecaps; they're perfectly fine.
Yes. You're pretty badass, Alexa, eh?
No, I just find them really uncomfortable. But
Alexa's like Happy Gilmore. She's just getting like freaking baseballs like hitting her knees. I gotta prepare for biking season.
something like that.
I'm glad that joke landed. I
That
was
was
a bit
pretty good.
worried about that joke. Next one. Oh, this is from Farmer Cam. Do you want to read out your own question, Farmer Cam? Oh, his audio's not working.
Oh no. There he is.
Oh, he's okay. Oh, I can read it out.
There it is. Nice.
Okay. What is the largest quantity of coffee that you've consumed in a day, and how did it make you feel? Aleksa, do you want to start?
For me, I think one time in university, I drank a whole pot of coffee while I was cramming for my next day exam. It made me feel super jittery. I had like dry mouth, cold sweats. I didn't sleep for like 30 hours, but I passed my test.
Love it.
Not too bad.
Oh, good.
It's
30 hours, brutal.
Yeah.
that's when you know that like coffee is a drug, because if you
Yeah.
consume too much of it, your body fights back.
What about you, Margo? What's the most AeroPress coffee you've ever had? Do you have like a 72-hour cult demonstration where you just scream at each other like they do in Fight Club? And you had to drink coffee the whole time to stay awake? Because that actually happened in a real cult.
No.
Okay, well, what's the most coffee you've drank then at once?
I think probably somewhere around the ballpark of 6-ish cups maybe in a day.
That's a lot of cups.
That's, yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of cups. It made me feel pretty much like I was dying. You know, when your heart beats really fast and you
Oh,
think
yeah.
there's got to be something else wrong besides
Yeah.
just the amount of coffee you drank, and you feel nauseous and you just feel generally horrible. Yeah,
Love
I think
it.
that was probably the worst.
You were geeking off the booming loud, as they say, on the streets.
Yeah.
How about you, Cam? Do you have an answer?
Not a specific moment. No, lots of university days like that. And I will say that it's very unfortunate when you drink a bunch of coffee in the morning and then you go to work and you have to pee like every 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Totally disrupts your productivity.
Love it. Do you want to go, Pimpy?
I don't really have anything that like stands out to me, but I will say like you get to that cup where you know you're rolling the dice. You're either going to be more energized or you're going to start sweating uncontrollably and feel like you're going to have a heart attack. And usually it's the latter. So I think the most I've ever had is 4 in a day. I'm pretty soft.
I crush coffee, but I can't think of a specific time. But I know when I do drink more coffee, it's actually a really scary thing, especially if I don't eat. I start to like, I get like actually a lot. This is actually kind of serious almost. Probably shouldn't be drinking so much coffee, but I actually get huge anxiety about things in my life, and I'll just start worrying like crazy when I have too much coffee. So it's horrible. White Goat provides a lot of joy to my life, but sometimes it brings great pain.
I was gonna say the thing that I've learned from this podcast today is that vegetables are good and coffee's bad.
No, we love coffee and we love White Goat. All right. You want to do the last one?
Oh, I have another one. So you do this one, I'll do that.
Okay. This is from Chloe J.
The
Curtis.
J stands for Jebediah.
When growing shallots and leeks from seed, at what point can they be transplanted outside? Is it fine for right now, or does it need to be after the threat of frost is gone?
All right, Aleksa, what do you think?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay. Kyle.
I think you're good. Cam, your thoughts?
Totally good. Get them in the ground. It's time. Yeah.
Love it. Let's go.
You nailed it, Kyle. Yeah, the allium family is fairly hardy. So like your onions, your garlic, all that stuff, it can go in pretty early. You can put your leeks quite deep into the ground. You can use a tool called a dibbler, which is very fun to say, in addition to being an effective tool. Dibbler. Yeah.
Dibbler.
Dibble a hole in the ground.
I'm going to dibble that.
Yeah, dibble it up. And
What are you doing tonight? I'm dibbling.
And yeah, it's like a sexier version of the word like dabble. Like instead of saying I dabble, like I dibble in that.
I couldn't stop dibbling last night. Anyways, okay, Margo, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, that sounds great. Chloe actually texted me this the other day, and I said, you should ask Cam.
Nice. Okay, well, there you go.
Yeah.
And she chose to do it on the pod. I am honored. I have to give Chloe a shout out for tracking me down because she heard that there was a guy in town selling microgreens before I ever started my business. So this was like a year and a half ago, and Abby told her that this dude Cam was growing microgreens, and she messages me out of the blue and is like, I heard you have stuff for sale. I'm like, yeah, I'm having a rutabaga dirt bags band practice. Come on down. I got some greens for you. It's great. That's how my business started.
We have one more question here. That's a secret question. It's for Cam. This is from D. Rigo from D. Rigo Photography. Who was your favorite first floor Neo resident, and why isn't it Scott?
Man, favorite? Okay, so for context, D. Rigo and I lived on first floor Neo, 2014. Good time.
Represent.
Yep. Man, I want to say Nelson Silveira though. You guys
Big
know
shout
Nelson?
out.
by any chance?
Love Nelson.
Big Nelson
Hilarious
guys.
dude from
Nelson's-
Kitimat.
He's actually my
You know,
cousin.
He's your cousin? No way.
Yeah, dude.
He's actually
That's
my,
pretty cool.
No,
my
he's not.
godfather.
I have no idea who he is, but
Nelson
No, but
actually
he's-
gave me one of his kidneys.
Wow, that's awesome.
I didn't need it or
from-
anything, but it was
It-
just still really nice. Yeah. Now I have 3. One more and it's all going to be done.
That's amazing. Nelson's a super funny guy. He's Portuguese from Kitimat, as I said.
Love
And,
it.
I would never put those two together. But
No, highly unlikely combo, but he was always cooking. He's always making a roast. He's always checking on it. He's got to get it done just right. But I got it. Scott's a great guy. That whole room that like Darren and Scott and the guys there. Fun,
Not me,
Fun spot.
but,
Not
yeah.
you. No.
Yeah. So wait, it's Neo was the close one, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So I lived in KO the first year. It was horrible.
Oh,
was-
the extra walk.
It's actually brutal. The extra like 30 seconds of walking in the winter. I thought that was actually a shot at me, but it wasn't. It was the other Scott. Scott with the
yes,
pro.
Scott Alexander. Is that his name?
Nope. Maybe not that, but Farmer Cam is basically the me Farmer Cam is to me what I am to everyone else, where I met Farmer Cam about 30 times before I actually sunk in who he was. I just kept re-meeting him every 6 months.
You're such a prick.
I know, but this happens to me all the time. No one
His
ever remembers
impact
who I
is
am.
like immediate. Like as soon as I
know, but one time it
his
just-
parents, oh
yeah.
my God, Cam.
I know, but now I'm locked in. But it took. I think I met Cam at the Legion for about the 80th time, and I was like, I won't forget him this time, and I didn't.
In Terrace, though, we never met in Prince George.
I'm pretty sure we would have.
We did meet in Prince George. We may have.
Probably. See, he forgot me too. It's all good.
No, but you don't remember it either. I remember.
No.
I remember Dobson. I remember DB Aqua Tours in
Yeah, because
Prince
he's the
George.
only guy in the Prince George area with a soul patch and Oakley gas cans.
Well, that was a great discussion. I'm sure everyone really enjoyed hearing about Prince George. Thank you guys. That was awesome. Thanks, boys.
Well,
We have one last thing, and we'll go around the horn and just you guys can have some closing remarks. We are going to have someone's going to come into this Zoom meeting and sing "O Canada."
Mhm.
But first, Scott, we have a really serious hypothetical. Would you like to do the honors and read it
will.
out?
hypothetical scenario for you. COVID-19 has been eradicated from the earth after the world was able to replicate ancient New Brunswick tactics of never leaving the home or doing anything of any value. The
Sorry,
world
Grandma.
returns to the normal it once had, and with that normal dawns the return of the spring and summer farmer's mask. However, this year there is a new stand at the market run by Kyle and Scott. What product or service are they selling, and how is their booth performing?
We'll start with Margo, the FMM.
Okay, so the booth is going to be offering advice, and
Love it.
for the first 3 weeks, it does really well. Super popular. Lots of people coming to check it out, paying for advice. It's going really well. And then 3 weeks in, things are starting to go pretty bad. You're not having any returning customers. We're starting to get complaints at the farmers market that I have to deal with, and things just really go downhill from there.
Oh my God.
All right.
Yeah,
Very
That's-
specific.
Do we know why? Like, what am I doing wrong?
it's the advice. It's definitely
Yeah.
the
Just
advice.
the advice sucks. Yeah.
People are not. It's not working for people, so they're not.
Fair
coming
enough.
back.
Yeah, basically all we would tell people to do is put wiretaps on people.
Yeah. That was fantastic, Margo.
Thank you.
Really well done.
Thanks.
Alexa?
I think a lot about the farmers market.
What do you have a hypothetical or a scenario for us?
Yeah, totally. You guys are gonna sell mustache wax.
Love it.
Partner with like Rushing River Apiary. Use some of their beeswax.
Yes, guy.
Oh.
I can't even grow a mustache, but
Like you guys would kill it. Absolutely kill it. Farmer Cam would buy some, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Look
I
at
want to
that.
invent like a mustache, like an organic mustache, like thickener, like a topic or whatever. So I can just like put that on and people can see my mustache. Because sometimes I got a lot of hair, but it's all blonde and you can't see it. In certain lights, though, I look unbelievable, but in other lights, it's a
You
tough.
could probably like microblade or something.
That's what I was thinking. I don't know.
You
Yeah.
try it.
That's
Isn't it like jojoba oil or something? Jojoba?
I'll look into that. I didn't know
Yeah.
about that, Cam, but I'll
I
check
heard
it out.
this guy he dabbles in whatever you just
I
said.
like to dibble.
Dibbles.
I'm gonna say dibble all day today.
Do it up, man.
Gonna dibble a lot tonight. Okay, Cam, one more. You're the last hurrah, and then we'll just go a round table, and you guys can tell us any more things you want to tell us.
Okay, well, the Natural Fit is live on location, Graham Avenue podcast, coming from the Farmer's Mask once a
Love
week,
it.
1 hour, live stream, commentary on who's at the market that day, the live music, the cinnamon bun quality. It's going to be a really interesting time. It's like Kyle's opportunity for the least hot minute, but it's like during the Farmer's Mask. So
Love
it's going to be
it.
a good time. Also, on the side, you're going to sell pineapple habanero hot sauce. Going to make a
Yes,
killing.
guy.
Yeah,
Nice.
gonna
Love
do
it.
real well.
I think we'd thrive until I start like carving up certain booths, and then just like all hell would break loose.
Yeah,
But,
no, you're not going to make friends.
That is great. Do you have anything else you want to say, Pimpy, before we?
Aluminium.
Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna
Teriyaki.
go around the we're gonna go around the horn and just if anyone has. I want to go first with Aleksa. One thing we barely mentioned was Torca, but do you want to give us like the listeners a little update on what's going on and anything you want to say about Torca?
Yeah, for sure. The most exciting piece of news that we announced earlier this spring is that we started to break ground on the Hub project.
Awesome.
So for anyone who's not aware, the Hub project is sort of like I like to call it like a bike development skills center. So essentially, we have raised enough money for an asphalt pump track, and then there's also a connecting climbing trail up to Flathead, so people will be able to like basically ride their bikes from town, hop on the trail, and then go right up to Flathead.
Wow,
Damn.
Connect
that's
to the
unreal.
the main terrace network. And then there's also two kind of progressive skills trails that come back down the mountain. So it's it's going to be a really rad spot. We raised just shy of $300,000.
Not a big deal.
Really excited, and it's definitely going to be a really big game changer for Terrace's mountain biking scene.
Very cool. That's awesome.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Good job, Aleksa. I think everyone.
That's unreal.
Like, I don't really mountain bike, but
We should.
we should get into it. We have that mountain
Well,
bike.
I said we should figure out like a similar scheme, but then just embezzle it, the money.
We could. We're watching The Wire, so we're kind of into like
Yeah,
we're into a lot like drug dealing,
wiretaps. Obviously.
wiretaps. We're really interested in all sides, so we're trying to figure out how we can deal drugs, fight crime, and then also be shady political figures.
Yeah.
So we're not sure how it's going to go yet, but we're figuring it out. Margo,
Nation, Mayor
yes,
of
guy.
Terrace.
I know. I'm thinking if I become mayor, I'll do some shady stuff. Cook the
Nice.
books. Margo, anything else that you want to say just about life or the farmer's market?
No, not really. I just want to reiterate that no calls are happening here under my watch. Hope everyone's doing okay. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Stay positive.
Are there any cults under Matt the Ghost watch?
No cults are happening out here.
Well, you can't prove that because it's a very vast area with a lot of property. I'm
Well,
sure.
I mean, here, like at my house, I guess.
When we're opening up, when people are allowed to like visit with people again, do you think that like I could come by and just like maybe have like a smoky around a fire with you guys or?
Yeah, you can definitely come by.
Okay.
Unfortunately, well, yeah, come by. You'll have to bring your own smokies,
Okay.
but definitely come by and hang out. And that sounds really great. People are popping by.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's an open invite to all our listeners.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just pop by. We'll post the address on our Instagram.
Yeah.
So thank you, guys. Thank you, Margo. We really appreciate you coming
Oh man,
on.
full regret.
Cameron Bell, Farmer Camps Foods. What would you like to say to end this pod, my friend?
Feel like I've made it. being on the Graham Avenue podcast. Big moment.
What a
Big
feeling,
moment for
eh?
me. Big moment for my business. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, ladies, for sharing this moment with me on the pod today. And yeah, look forward to seeing everybody around this summer. Come buy vegetables. And yeah, hopefully we get through this pandemic sooner rather than later.
Okay. Awesome, you guys. I'd like you just to
girls.
stay, and girls, yeah, anyways, I'd like you guys to stay on the line. Fergie will be calling in and singing the national anthem. We'll see you on the flip flop later.